morning, everybody. It's Dirk. Happy Monday morning. I hope you're going to have a fabulous day today. Mine is starting out in the cold, windy, and gray morning of northwest Minnesota. Spent the night at a lovely truck stop, or not truck stop, rest area in I don't even know, St. Cloud, I think. It was just outside of St. Cloud. And forgive me, I'm still trying to wake up. It is the day after a very long day of driving. Did pretty much all 11 hours I was capable of doing per law. And normally not a big deal, but when you throw the weather on top of it, not so much the rain is never really an issue for me, but the wind. It got crazy windy towards like the last half of that drive, so that was a good at least, 6 or 7 hours of battling a truck to stay straight in the lane when the winds are trying to push it from one side to the other, and everybody that drives knows exactly what that is like. Also not that big of a deal. However, it does force you to concentrate a lot more and focus a lot more, and consequently it just makes you tired. The alarm went off this morning and I'm like, no, I don't wanna. Oh God. But what are you gonna do? So up and rolling. Thank God I've got a coffee machine on the truck. And we're heading to our first delivery in Alexandria, Minnesota, which is about an hour east of Fargo, North Dakota. And then after Alexandria, we pop up to Grand Forks, North Dakota, way up north, and visit those guys and drop the second half of this trailer. And then from there, who knows? So my dispatcher called first thing this morning, and he's already looking for a load. I guess GP's got some dedicated runs out of that area, so he's going to grab me something, and I will find out. So onward. All right. So delivery number 1 is complete. It is 29 degrees in Alexandria, Minnesota right now. And as I was approaching Alexandria on I-94, it was a nice freezing ice rain that was starting to ice up on the truck. So that was lovely. It's cleared up now, sort of, kind of. But we are now heading back to 94 West, and going to take that into Fargo and say hello to Fargo again. We were just there. We're going to visit again, but this time we're driving through. We're just picking up Interstate 29, and that'll take us a few hours north up to Grand Forks with the second and final delivery of this trailer. And then from there, we'll see what the next load is. So here we go. Woo, man, another windy day up this way. We are 24 miles or so away from Fargo, North Dakota, and leaving the great state of Minnesota for the great state of North Dakota. Just listen to this wind for a second. Actually, it's rather calm right now. Of course, as soon as I turn on the cameras, it's not as crazy sounding. Yeah, I'm getting pushed all over the place. I just hope my next load isn't that far of a deadhead, because I really don't want to be driving long distance with an empty trailer in this. Well, our time in Minnesota is coming to a close for today, at least for now. We are entering the great state of North Dakota. Yeah. All right, we are back. Hello, North Dakota. How the heck are ya? It looks like you're a lot better than the last time I left you when it was a raging ice storm. But it is 29 degrees. It is windy, but thank goodness the precipitation has let up, at least for now. Let's hope it stays that way. We're about to hook up onto Interstate 29 in another 1.8 miles. We will be exiting to the right and heading up north to Grand Forks. So, welcome to North Dakota, everybody. Welcome to the Great Northern Plains. And how could I possibly have forgotten? We're in Fargo. Everybody, say hello to Fargo. I can't believe I almost drove through Fargo and didn't even mention it or say hello or shout out to them. So shout out to Fargo. I wonder where Chippy is. Anybody know whatever happened to Chippy? I'd sure like to find him. See if anybody gets that reference. So we are heading north on I-29 in North Dakota, heading up from Fargo up to Grand Forks. And a lot of the time that I've been driving this stretch from Alexandria, Minnesota up here to Grand Forks, I've been on and off phone calls the entire time. And the reason being is that the shipper, who is a distributor, they didn't provide a full address of where this shipment is supposed to deliver to. So I found a contact number in the paperwork, and that number went nowhere. And so then I just kind of took the name of the place and went on the good old Google, and I found a business of that name in Grand Forks and called them up, and sure enough, I found the right place. Spoke to what seemed like the owner of the company. Sounded kind of like very professional, very well spoken, very, very nice. And he was kind of surprised to be getting a call from an actual truck driver. He said they get all sorts of deliveries, and he said usually if I get calls from, you know, either freight brokers or usually trucking company dispatchers. But I said, yeah, well, I'm maybe a little different. I don't know. I don't like to bug other people with stuff I can just as well do myself. So I had a nice little conversation with him. Super cool guy. And it turns out that this stuff that's in the trailer, it is stuff that will eventually be in people's homes. And apparently there is a construction site in the Grand Forks area somewhere that is building, you know, some new housing, and it's still pretty raw, the job site. And so he and I were talking through what their plan was, and what they had done is they had taken a semi-trailer and they had parked it out there by the job site, and their thought was to, well, just have me, and I've done these type of deliveries before where I back up my trailer to the back end of the trailer they've dropped there, or another truck, what have you, and you go door to door, you know, my open door to that open door, and basically press them together almost, and then or fully, and then, you know, people can offload from my trailer into that trailer, and then they lock it up tight, and, you know, then they have all their stuff at the job site, which is a very practical and very smart way to do things for people that are, you know, building homes. But my concern is, I don't know if you can see in the cameras, but this entire trip up I-29, the highway is flanked by floodwater. This entire area up here has been hit with so much precipitation lately that everything is flooded. There are high stage flood warnings all over the place in this area. There's all sorts of roads closed due to flooding. And so I was asking him, about the conditions out there at that job site, because I know how job sites are. They're not complete. They don't have all the irrigation in and drainage and all of that stuff oftentimes. Final grade and excavation sometimes isn't done, and they can flood out pretty good. And so long story short, I ended up being on the phone with him, one of his supervisors, the manager of his warehouse, and all of us kind of putting our heads together. And, I was asking very specific questions about the road surface going into that site because, it's not finished. And although it sounds as if they have the right type of foundation built in to this road, it's still in its gravel form, and it's ready to be concreted or paved or what have you, and that's got strong underlayment and all of that good stuff. However, it has not been decked yet, and with all of this precipitation and water that they have, that ground is pretty soft right now, and this truck is enormously heavy, even without stuff in it. You're between 30,000-40,000 pounds with a trailer. It's a lot of weight, and so just turning the steer tires. My steer tires alone have anywhere from 11,000 to 12,000 pounds of weight just on the two front steer tires. If you're sitting still on gravel and turning your wheel left to right, you're essentially trenching a hole with that much weight if it's not finished concrete or finished hardened asphalt. So, we kind of talked it through, and they finally, kind of agreed before I had to say anything. I kind of was trying to nudge the conversation that way, and it worked, to get them to realize that this might not be a great idea before I had to pull the brakes on it. And they all kind of said, yeah, you know what, it would probably be better considering, and also that road is pretty narrow. You might not be able to make a swing on one of the turns without getting your wheels off of that road, and if that happens, because the ground's so mushy, it might turn into something really ugly. So let's just have you drop this stuff at our main warehouse where there's a dock, and now it has become a conventional, normal drop for the shipment. But the important thing is that I was on the phone with these folks, and I was just part of their conversation of trying to figure out the best way to get all of the very high value stuff that is in that trailer, and without any damage or incidents, and without the even higher value semi-truck that I am responsible for being put in any sort of condition where it might need to be extricated and towed out, because pulling a semi-truck out of a stuck situation and towing it, it's not just $50. It's not just a few $100. It's thousands of dollars. Just a call out for a wrecker, you don't even want to know. It's outrageously expensive. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know about that. The other truck drivers, obviously, they know all about it. They've been in similar situations, and I'm sure many of you have done the same. But for people that are brand new or people looking to get into this job, that is part of the job as well. You're a representative of your company, and I take that very seriously. So I'm very professional with the end customers. I am the face of GP Transco to them, and I want to make sure that our interactions are as absolutely polite and professional as possible. And these people were just so appreciative. They were like, thank you, and gosh, such a pleasure, and can't wait to meet you, and just couldn't possibly be nicer people. And they really were grateful that there was somebody helping them. I mean, they don't do trucking. They don't know, all of the limits and limitations and what can and can't be done. They just don't know. So, it really made them feel good that they actually got to talk to a driver. So that kind of stuff's really important. So anybody that's getting into this or just starting out, always keep that in mind. If you're working for Swift or Werner or Schneider or whatever, one of these big mega carriers, they've got tens of thousands of employees and they've got tens of thousands of trucks and they're gigantic corporations. But at the end of the day, wherever you're picking up or wherever you're delivering to, you are the face of that company. You are the image that people have in their head of what that company's all about, and you need to take that seriously. So anyway, I will now get off of my soapbox again, and just wanted to throw that out there. And we're almost in Grand Forks, and we'll get this off, and then from there, I have no idea. I don't have my next load yet. I'm sure it's coming soon, because I usually get them before I'm empty, and we'll see where it goes. Oh, well, this has been a fun journey here. Wow. Talk about getting into some teeny little streets. I'm going to wait for this gentleman to get the heck out of here, and then I'm going to be backing up on that door from the street. Let's see when he decides he wants to go. All right, here we go, folks. This should be fun. Got to do this kind of like a 90. Let the plows through. Oh, always got to take off my seatbelt because I don't like being strangled when I'm trying to back up. I'm going to pull that a little bit more forward. I really want to cut the nose of that pickup truck off. Not literally. Nice and slow. Now, make sure I'm not hitting that curb over there. I'm going to take me one extra look out, see what I got on that side. When in doubt, get out and look. I couldn't remember if there were any cars parked there on my right. Oh boy, this is tight. Ooh, I got that curve on my right. Slowly jump that curb. Yeah, see, these are the situations you just got to keep a cool head. I'm literally making this by inches. Literally inches. And I can't swing my tractor around because I'll go up on their grass, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come in there a little cockeyed as far as the trailer, but I don't care because I'm making sure I'm not doing any landscaping. Slow and easy. Okay, my steers are clear of that now. Should be. I can always straighten it out a little later. And now I'm going to have to wiggle the crap out of it. This is about as tight gets. Now we're going to have to blindside the trailer back over as much as we possibly can. Let's take a peek. The shit out of that. Now we're going to come back straight. It's all geometry. Yeah, I got to kick that thing way the hell over. Wrong way. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to here. We're getting closer. Take one more look at this corner that I can't see. Okay, I can come a few more feet back. Yeah, this is what they call shoehorning. That's about as far as I want to get that way. Okay. More blindsiding. Skidding. Let's put our diff lock on. fifth lock you're hearing. Gotta go open the doors. Be right back. Yeah, and you get to come to these tiny little roads, these tiny little back spaces where the curb's way too close. And you got cars everywhere. So we shoehorned it in. It's ugly, but that's about as straight as it's gonna get unless I want to spend the rest of the day here. Trailer's straight, it's on the dock, that's all I care about. Not looking for style points, just want to make it so they can get the stuff off and be on my way. So got in, didn't hit anything, we're good to go. Well, second delivery complete, so that trailer load is now done and finished, completed. Everything on time, everything delivered, all good. So that's always a wonderful thing. And man, I can't say enough about those people. You know, I wish, I purposely try not to share, you know, information that's really specific about customers, just because I just don't think it's right to do it. Sometimes I wish I could though, because I would love to give that company a shout out. I just don't think it's a smart thing to do. But man, what nice people. I mean, at one point I think I had a congregation of about, I don't know, 5 or 6 of their people, and we're just all just shooting the breeze and talking and stuff. I mean, just the nicest people. I mean, I was half expecting them to invite me to dinner. It was crazy. And I learned something new. So one of the guys, we were talking about all the standing water in the area, because between Fargo and Grand Forks, just all sorts of standing floodwater. And the guy mentioned to me that all of these water tables, you know, they kind of fill into the Red River. And I don't know much of anything about the Red River. I do know a lot about U.S. geography, and just because I'm a nerd and I'm fascinated by everything in the natural world, so I tend to, if I do watch TV, I tend to almost always watch documentaries, just because that's how big of a nerd I am. I love stuff about, you know, learning about plate tectonics and the, you know, the oceans, and I mean just all of it, just how the earth works. Fascinating stuff, you know, so I can sit there enthralled for hours with that kind of what my ex-wife used to call geek TV, affectionately, of course, but I wear it as a badge of honor. Yes, I am a geek and a nerd. But anyway, back to my point. Jeez. He told me that the Red River apparently runs from Fargo to Grand Forks and up to Canada. So it is a north-south situated river that actually flows northward. That's amazing. I didn't know that. And I know that there are a couple of you know, rivers that do that. I don't remember which ones they are. I don't think any of them are necessarily big rivers. I could be wrong, but I don't recall ever hearing anything about like a major river that runs northward like that. But the Red River, I mean, it's not the Mississippi by any means, but it's not a small river. So it runs from Fargo through Grand Forks up to Canada. I think that's amazing. So the Canadians are getting actually some of our water. So anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Thought I'd share it. We are on our way to a town that I have a very hard time pronouncing, because I'm almost positive I'm going to pronounce it wrong because it's spelled kind of weird. But I'm going to call it Wahpeton, North Dakota. Wahpeton. Wahpeton, not exactly sure, but it is North Dakota. It's just a little bit south of Fargo, and we're going to pick up a load there that delivers to Stoughton, Wisconsin, home of Stoughton Trailers, semi-truck trailers. They make big trailers. But I don't think that that's anything to do with this shipment. So anyway, we will get down there as fast as we can and get ourselves loaded up and on with the next load.